In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NHL games happening on February 7, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Vegas Golden Knights versus Boston Bruins. The Vegas Golden Knights are set to face off against the Boston Bruins, and both teams are heading into this matchup with contrasting trajectories. As the break approaches, the Golden Knights are currently performing at a high level with a record of 32-17-6, holding on to the top spot in the Pacific Division. On the other hand, the Bruins have struggled recently, posting a 27-23-6 record. With only 5 wins in their last 10 games, they have slipped out of playoff contention in the Eastern Conference, leaving them in a tough position as they look to regain their form. The Golden Knights are enjoying a stellar season so far, and they will be eager to seize control of the game from the opening whistle. Vegas, averaging 3.27 goals per game, will look to capitalize on the Bruins' defensive vulnerabilities, as Boston allows 3.16 goals per game. With star players like Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, and the rest of the forward group leading the charge, the Golden Knights will aim to carry the puck into the offensive zone, creating open shooting lanes with fast and accurate passes. On the defensive side, Vegas has been solid, allowing just 2.75 goals per game, which should help them limit the Bruins' offense. Boston has been struggling to find the back of the net, averaging only 2.66 goals per game. The Golden Knights' defense, led by Shea Theodore, Alex Pietrangelo, and the rest of the blue line, will look to force turnovers in the defensive zone, stifling Boston's attempts to generate offensive pressure. With goaltender Adin Hill in net, who has been performing admirably, Vegas should be able to prevent Boston from creating significant scoring opportunities, allowing Hill to make timely saves when needed. The Golden Knights have been playing exceptional hockey as of late, making this a favorable spot for them to secure a road victory. Meanwhile, the Bruins have been struggling to score consistently, and their offensive issues are compounded by the fact that they will face a well-coached Vegas team with strong defensive capabilities. With Hill playing solidly between the pipes and the Golden Knights' defensive structure in place, they have the upper hand in this matchup. So the Vegas Golden Knights money line is our full game side pick. Boston's offensive struggles continue, and with both Jeremy Swayman and Adin Hill among the best goaltenders in the NHL, both teams will find it difficult to light the lamp. Vegas has been playing strong defensively, which will likely frustrate the Bruins' attempts to score. Additionally, both teams have been trending toward unders this season. Vegas has hit the under at a 53.7% rate, while the Bruins have done so at a 52.3% rate. Given these trends, it's reasonable to expect that the total for this game will remain low. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Maple Leafs versus Vancouver Canucks. The Toronto Maple Leafs are set to hit the road as they prepare to face off against the Vancouver Canucks at Rogers Arena. The Maple Leafs have a solid record of 33-19-2, reflecting their strong season performance. On the other hand, the Canucks hold a record of 25-18-11, which shows that they have had a bit more of a mixed season so far. The two teams have already met once earlier this season, with Vancouver coming out on top in that encounter, marking a victory for them in their head-to-head matchup. The offensive performance of the Maple Leafs has been fairly decent this season, as they have managed to score 4 or more goals in 5 of their last 9 games. Currently, Toronto ranks 12th in goals scored per game and 14th in shots taken per game, indicating a balanced and effective offensive unit. In terms of goaltending, the Leafs have been performing well, ranking 13th in goals against per game, showcasing their ability to prevent the opposition from scoring. In contrast, the offensive output from the Canucks has been disappointing this season, as they have failed to score more than 3 goals in 9 of their last 10 games. Vancouver ranks 22nd in goals scored per game and 31st in shots taken per game, highlighting the struggles they've had in generating consistent offensive production. Their goaltending has also been underwhelming, with the Canucks sitting at 19th in goals against per game, making it a tough season for them on both ends of the ice. Vancouver enters this matchup riding a 2-game winning streak, and with the advantage of playing at home, they may seem like a threat. However, their last victory was a narrow one over the Sharks, which doesn't inspire much confidence. At home this season, the Canucks have a mediocre record of 10-7, while the Maple Leafs have been stronger on the road with a record of 14-8. Toronto has been in great form lately, winning 3 games in a row and dominating their opponents with a 13-7 scoreline over those contests. Defensively, the Leafs have been very solid this season, and they will be facing a Vancouver team that could potentially be without their key player, Quinn Hughes, once again. Despite Vancouver's recent winning streak, Toronto's overall form and defensive prowess make them a formidable opponent, and they seem well positioned to carry their momentum into the break with a victory. So the Toronto Maple Leafs money line is our full game side pick. Both teams are known for their strong defensive play, and it's expected that both defenses will look to dominate this game from the moment the puck drops. Vancouver has been particularly strong defensively in their last 2 games, allowing only 1 goal across both contests. With key players like Tyler Myers, Philip Hronek, and the rest of the defensive unit creating turnovers and limiting shots on net, they should be able to stifle the Maple Leafs' offensive efforts. Goaltender Thatcher Demko will likely be called upon to make several important saves throughout the game, helping keep Vancouver in it. On the other hand, the Maple Leafs have also been impressive defensively, allowing just 4 goals in their last 2 games. With players like Chris Tanev, Morgan Rielly, and Jake McCabe playing key roles in forcing turnovers both in the neutral zone and defensive zone, Toronto's defense should be well equipped to limit the Canucks' attack. Goaltender Joseph Woll will be tasked with stopping the shots on net and potentially earning a shutout. Given that the Canucks struggle to score, averaging only 2.81 goals per game. Given the defensive strength of both teams, this matchup is expected to be a low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Pittsburgh Penguins versus Philadelphia Flyers. The Pittsburgh Penguins are heading to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to face off against the Philadelphia Flyers. Currently, Pittsburgh sits just above the bottom of the Metropolitan Division with a record of 23-24-9, while Philadelphia occupies the division's last spot, posting a record of 23-26-7. Earlier this season, the Penguins came out victorious in their previous matchup against the Flyers, winning with a dominant 7-3 scoreline. When the Pittsburgh Penguins face the Flyers on the road, they boast an impressive record of 3-1-0, even without the presence of their star player, Evgeny Malkin. Over the course of their last 10 matchups with Philadelphia, the Flyers have only managed a 3-6-1 record against Pittsburgh. Despite being without both Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, the Penguins have displayed a strong next-man-up mentality, as evidenced by their victory over the Rangers just yesterday. This mindset could very well carry over into their game against Philadelphia. Meanwhile, the Flyers, desperate for a win, have struggled to find success lately, particularly in terms of scoring, which makes it difficult to believe that they'll be able to break through against Pittsburgh. While the Philadelphia Flyers may have the advantage of playing at home and the added benefit of rest, it is important to note that the Penguins are currently enduring a challenging season. The Flyers, who have consistently underperformed this year, have now lost 5 consecutive games. They've also recently gone through a stretch of 3 straight games without scoring a single goal. In contrast, the Penguins are coming off a solid win against the Rangers and have won 7 out of their last 10 matchups with the Flyers. Given these factors, the Penguins come into this game with considerable value, so the Pittsburgh Penguins money line is our full game side pick. On the defensive side of things, the Pittsburgh Penguins should be able to stifle the Flyers' offense, which has struggled to generate consistent scoring, averaging just 2.79 goals per game. With key defenders like Erik Karlsson, Chris Letang, and the rest of the defensive unit causing turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on goal, the Penguins will rely on their goaltender, Joel Blomqvist, to make plenty of key saves. On the other side, the Flyers will need to eliminate and potentially shut out the Penguins' offense, which has only managed 5 goals in their last 2 games. With players like Travis Sanheim, Rasmus Ristolainen, and the Flyers' defensive unit forcing turnovers in the neutral and defensive zones, they will need goaltender Samuel Ersson to step up and keep the Penguins from getting any significant scoring opportunities. In terms of betting trends, the Pittsburgh Penguins have posted an over-under record of 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Flyers have an over-under record of 3-7 in their last 10 matchups. Both teams have had their fair share of struggles on offense this season, but but it's clear that Pittsburgh holds the upper hand offensively and is likely to outscore Philadelphia in this contest. Given the Flyers' ongoing scoring issues, including being shut out 3 times in their last 5 games, it's difficult to see them finding the back of the net consistently. With both teams struggling offensively, it seems highly probable that this game will be low scoring from the very start. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Blackhawks versus St. Louis Blues. The Chicago Blackhawks are headed to the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, where they will face off against the St. Louis Blues. Currently, Chicago holds the last position in the Central Division with a record of 17-31-6, while the St. Louis Blues are in 6th place with a 24-26-5 record. Earlier this season, St. Louis emerged victorious in their meeting against Chicago, securing a dominant 6-2 win during the Winter Classic. The Chicago Blackhawks are coming off a solid blowout victory against the Nashville Predators, but despite the win, I still don't find enough reason to lean toward them in this matchup. The Blackhawks are still arguably one of the weakest teams in the entire league, and they fail to generate enough physicality in underdog situations to make them a worthwhile risk. On the other hand, the St. Louis Blues are playing at home, giving them a significant rest advantage, and this situation seems like an ideal opportunity for them to bounce back after a tough stretch in which they have lost 6 out of their last 7 games. The Blues have a strong track record against the Blackhawks, having won 5 of the last 6 matchups, including their impressive 6-2 victory on New Year's Eve. The St. Louis Blues have posted an impressive 8-2 record against the puck line in their last 10 games versus the Blackhawks. Chicago, on the other hand, is dealing with the fatigue of playing back-to-back games, which will likely make them weary heading into another divisional showdown. St. Louis is also feeling the pressure to improve their position in the Central Division, and they are in desperate need of securing every win they can to stay competitive. Given their sense of urgency, along with Chicago's likely exhaustion, the Blues should be highly motivated to win this game, with no excuses for a team in their situation, so the St. Louis Blues to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When it comes to the over-under, the Chicago Blackhawks have an impressive 7-3 record in their last 10 games. Both teams have been struggling on both ends of the ice, especially with their defense. Although I expect the Blues to dominate this game, especially against a fatigued Chicago defense, we should also anticipate the Blackhawks to score some goals, particularly with their power play unit going up against the Blues' struggling penalty kill. Given the current circumstances and the offensive firepower on both sides, this game is poised to be high-scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.